Tonight, the city of Tulsa, Oklahoma is on edge after a series of similar shootings left 3 people dead and 2 others wounded. All the victims, believed to have been targeted randomly, were shot early yesterday as they stood or walked outdoors on Tulsa's north side. Police say the shootings appear to be linked, though they're being careful not to characterize the nature of the attacks. All the victims, however, are black, and survivors describe their attacker as a white man. And that has some in the community questioning whether this might have been a hate crime. Tonight, the FBI has joined the investigation. NBC's John Yang is following the story for us.
In just a few hours, 3 people found dead and 2 others wounded, all within 3 miles of each other on Tulsa's north side. It began just after 1 a.m. Friday when a woman was found shot to death in a yard in a residential neighborhood. 3 minutes later, 2 men found wounded just 2 blocks away, both expected to survive. At 1:50, a man found fatally wounded. At 8:30, the morning's last grisly discovery, a man shot in the chest outside a funeral home, pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators said the victims, all of them black, appear to have been picked at random.
The victims were in the street and not really in their yards. So I would think that, people are walking up and down the street being targeted.
According to investigators, one of the survivors spoke with his attacker, whom he described as a white male driving a white pickup truck. They caution it's too early to say whether race played any role in the shootings.
I'm worried more about 3 of my citizens being murdered. And if it takes us in the direction of a hate crime, that's certainly where we'll go, and we'll prosecute them for that as well.
Local authorities asked the FBI and U.S. Marshal Service for help interviewing possible witnesses. In a city with only 11 homicides this year before Friday, residents of Tulsa's predominantly black north side are on edge this Easter weekend.
Right now, I think everybody needs to, just get closer and just protect themselves and do whatever measures are necessary legally to protect themselves.
This is Tulsa, Oklahoma. We should have the ability to stand out on your porch anytime, day or night that you want to walk down your street anytime, day or night that you want to.
Community leaders are urging calm while police are urging vigilance.
It's daylight now. You can go about your business. But boy, at night I would be aware of what's going on.
As the city holds its breath while police hunt down what they describe as a lone wolf killer. John Yang, NBC News, Chicago.
Hey everyone. Someone's trying to set off a war. That's what it sounds like to me. When you have a man that is described as white approaching black people and shooting them, I would say, yes, it's safe to conclude he is trying to start a war. And all I will say to black people, men and women, is make sure that before you go out to war, you are prepared for it. I've said this before and I will keep saying it. I still don't understand how people walk out of their homes and they are not protecting themselves. Especially in Oklahoma, where it's so easy, much easier than it is here in California to buy a gun. I just don't understand, and especially black men. I don't get how you walk around. I don't care if you're in your neighborhood or you're going to make a run to the store or whatever. You should never, ever, ever leave your homes without something to protect you. You see what's going on in this country. How can you be so stupid? When you know better, you should do better. I'm a woman. I'm a petite woman. I'm a black woman. Do you think that it would be smart of me to walk around and not have something to protect me from a potential rapist? If I decide to take a jog in a park where I know that at times women have been kidnapped and raped and even killed, do you really think that I should go and take a jog in the park without anything to protect me? Whoever this person is obviously sick. and he doesn't understand the magnitude in which this could possibly turn. Either he doesn't understand it or he just doesn't give a fuck. Because a war is really not something that most people want to get into. And that is the reason why the news anchors and even the police were so cautious not to immediately call this a hate crime. Did you guys notice that? They were very cautious. Well, we don't know. We don't know if this is a hate crime. But if it is, blah, 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 blah. What about the brother who came out and said that people should protect themselves legally? Legally. He kept yelling, legally. You know what? Do you really need a law that says to you that you can only protect yourself within a certain parameter, or you have to have a particular piece of paper with you if you decide to conceal the one thing that may save your life? What a stupid law. If you abide by that law, then what you are essentially saying is, well, I'll take my chances going out there without my gun, because the law says I cannot protect my own life unless I have a concealed carry permit. Understand the history of these laws and why they were created in the first place. When you examine the history of laws regulating firearms, one of the main reasons the concealed carry law was enacted was because of slavery. The earliest firearms licensing laws in the United States applied only to free blacks. The South feared that free blacks might assist slaves rebelling against their masters. After slavery ended, the Southern states took the lead in the development of laws regulating the carrying of handguns. The mentality was that if the freed slaves were allowed to carry guns, they would be in a position to defend themselves from Klansmen and more willing to demand their equal rights as citizens.